Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave-making?
Custom hath made in him a property of easiness.
'Tis e'en so, and a little employment hath the daintier sense.
That age with his stealing steps had clawed me in his clutch, and had shipped me into the land as if I had never been such.
That skull had a tongue in it, and could sing once. How the knave jowls it to the ground as if it were Cain's jawbone that did the first Mirtha. This might be the pate of a politician, which this ass now overreaches. One that could circumvent God, might it not?
It might, my lord.
Or of a courtier, which could say, "Good morrow, sweet lord. How dost thou, good lord?" This might be my lord such a one that praised my lord such a one's horse when he meant to beg it, might it not?
Aye, my lord.
Why, ain't so. Now my lady's worms, chapless, and knocked about the mazzard with a sexton's spade. Here's a fine revolution, and we had the tricks to see it. Did these bones cost no more than breeding to play out the loggets with them? Mine ache to think on it.
Pickaxe and a spade, for in a shrouding sheet. Oh, a pit of clay to be made, for such a guest is meet.
There's another. Why, may not that not be the skull of a lawyer? Where be his quiddits now, his quillets, his cases, his tenures and his tricks? Why does he suffer this rude knave to knock him about the sconce with a dirty shovel? And will not tell him of his action of battery? Huh. This fellow might be in his time a great buyer of land, with his statuettes, his recognizes, his fines, his double vouchers, his recoveries. Is this the fine of his fine, the recovery of his recoveries? To have his fine pate full of dirt? Will his vouchers vouch him no more of his purchases, and double ones too, than the length and breadth of a pair of indentures? The very conveyances of his land will scarcely lie in this box. Must the interior himself have no more?
Not a jot more, my lord.
Is not parchment made of sheepskins?
Aye, my lord, and calf skins too.
There are sheep and calves which seek out assurances in that. I will speak to this fellow. Whose grave is this, sirrah?
Mine, sir. Oh, a pit of clay to be made, for such a guest as me.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in it.
You lie out on it, sir, and therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
Thou dost lie in it, and be it to say it is thine. 'Tis for the dead, not for the quick. Therefore thou liest.
'Tis a quick lie, sir. 'Twill away again from me to you.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir. But God rest her soul, she's dead.
How absolute the knave is! We must speak by the card, and the equivocation will undo us. By the Lord, Horatio. This 3 years I've taken note of. The age has grown so picked that the toe of the peasant has come so near the heel of the courtier that he galls his kye. How long hast thou been a grave maker?
Of all the days in the year, I came to it that day that our last King Hamlet over King Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Can you not tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. He that is mad and sent to England.
Aye, marry. Why was he sent into England?
Why, because he was mad. I shall recover his wits there, or if it do not, 'tis no greater there.
Why?
'Twill not be seen in him there. There the men are as mad as he.
How came he mad?
very strangely, they say.
How strangely?
Faith, even with losing his wits.
Upon what ground?
Why, you're in Denmark. I have been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie in the earth ere he rot?
Faith, but be not rotten before a die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays that'll scarcely hold the laying in. I will last you some 8 or 9 year. Dana will last you 9 year.
Why he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so down with his trade that it will keep out water a great while. And your water is a sore decay of your horse and dead body. Here's a skull now. This skull hath lain you in the earth 23 years.
Whose was it?
A whoreson, mad fellow's 'twas. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
Pestilence on him for a mad rogue. Bought a flagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Even that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now, your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar? Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chapfallen in. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked to this fashion in the earth?
E'en so?
And smelt so?
E'en so, my lord?
To what base uses we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole?
'Twere to consider too curiously to consider so.
No faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither with modesty enough, and likelier to lead it. As thus Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth into dust. The dust is earth. Of earth we make loam, and why of that loam, whereto he was converted, might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that earth which kept the world in awe should patch to wall to expel winter's flaw. But soft, aside. Here comes the king. The queen, the courtiers, who is this they follow? And with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the course they follow, to with some desperate hand fordo it own life. 'Twas of some estate. Couch we a while and mark.